Hey everyone, this Squadron is here. Sorry if the camera angle looks a little bit skewed. The mount for it broke, so I'm having to have it actually rested on a box. I've got no idea if this is going to work or not, so we'll go with it and see what happens. Well, we'll do another unboxing video. Got a parcel came today. I know I've mentioned before about Air Cadets. The guys are doing a diorama for D-Day because it's the 75th D-Day anniversary this year. The parameters are only basically any size diorama, but it's got to be 1/72 scale models. I know most people think of D-Day as the beach landings. However, there's a lot more going on at that time. So I've been trying to encourage everyone to think of different things they can come up with. One of the kits I've ordered so that they can go ahead and do this. It's not a new kit, it's an old one. But it's Revell's Handley page, Halifax B, the MkIII. This is the one that was available on D-Day. Most people have gone for Lancaster. I wanted them again to think outside the box a little bit and go for planes that people may not have thought of. So Halifax was one of those. It was used for German bombing behind the German lines. It was also used to tow in gliders and various missions. It's a Revell kit, mainly because I think the Revell one is a little bit better than Airfix. It's 1/72 scale. It's about just over a foot long. So 30, according to this, 31 centimeters in length. It's just over 43 centimeters wingspan, which makes it a fairly large model for 1/72 scale. But it is a bomber, so what you'd expect. There's no, on the front, nothing to tell you how many pieces there are. But you know, it's injection moulded, Revell. And what do you need to know, really? They've got it down as a skill level 5, so it's one of the harder skill levels. There is, painting numbers on the side. Some pictures of the actual model on the side as well. What have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 colours on this. It does say there 257 parts, which is actually a fair lot. But this is it. On this side you've got a little detail about the Halifax, some history in that. So this MkIII version powered by the Bristol Hercules radial engines, entered service in 1943 and employs towing aircraft during operations in Normandy and Arnhem as well. So like I said, suitable for D-Day. Armed with 8 Browning and Vickers machine guns and can carry a bomb load of almost 6,000 kilos. For those that are American, if you're watching, that is 13,000 pounds. Apparently, the only fully original restored Halifax is in the National Air Force Museum in Ontario, Canada. So there we go. Right. I suppose we ought to get it open and see what's in here. So it's just come today, so I've not even looked at the box yet. Well, there we go. Yep, definitely empty. Okay, so these are the sprues. They're a lighter shade of grey than the Airfix kits, which normally come as a quite a dark grey. Yep, so a fairly light grey, very pale. Not quite white, but you know, it's definitely very pale grey. This is obviously wing sections, panel lines on the wings, engines. We have the clear bits for the canopy, so gunner's turrets, cockpit, all these side windows here as well, there's a lot of those. That'll be fun to try putting in without losing any. Now, I think that's a waste of a sprue, the big gap in the middle. It's obviously because that's supposed to be in there. And that worries me now that 2 wing halves half a sprue, but I assume that's going to fit. And it's not missing anything. Bag was sealed, so that's how it's come from Revell. Right, I'll get that back in there later, I can't get it in there. So what else have we got? This is engine parts and guns. Right, engine detail. The cylinders on the radial engine, they're very flat. There's no. Oh no, actually I can feel. It's hard to see. Doesn't look like there's ridges on there, but actually running my finger over just one of these cylinders here, I can actually feel ridges. So that's the fins on the cooling block, the heatsink. So that's nice. A set of engines. We'll come to the instructions in a minute. That's the main body, so let's get this one out and have a look at the main body. The fuselage section. So we have nice panel lines on the outside, and on the inside, behind the cockpit section, some linings, some little details there. Not maybe the most detail I've seen on some kits, but it's there. That's obviously the bomb bay. Whether it's supposed to be warped or straight, yeah, it should have a little curve in it, looking at the body there. So that looks like instrument panels. There is some detail on some of the instrument panels. Again, don't know if you can see that on the camera and on there. Typically these will come through as decals anyway. I'll have a look. I haven't seen the decals yet. There we go. So that's the decal sheet. They look fairly crisp. These are Revell decals. There's not too much excess around the outside of the decals. They seem to be quite the glue from is quite sharp to the decal itself. I've had some kits where the decal's been there and it's had 3 or 4 mil of glue outlining the outside of it, which then makes it look a little bit messy when you're sticking them on. And this is 424 Squadron on here. Now, I don't know what paint markings it comes with, I haven't looked at that yet. We have that's just a safety advice sheet, the usual, do not sniff the glue, glue your fingers together. Fairly thick booklet, that's what I'd expect for a model that's got 270 odd pieces. Again, some bump in various languages on what they are, so Bomber Command Halifax, also use a Coastal Command for anti-submarine patrols, 171 Squadron, 199 Squadron, 1944, and a source service in number 38 Group Airborne Forces. There's a transport glider, reconnaissance and electronic warfare, and the command of number 100 Group. It's in 644 Squadron. So various squadrons there, but it only seems to have one set of decals. We have the parts list, greyed out sections of parts not used for this particular variant. There's a colour sheet as well, so actually it's way more than the 6 colours on the box. what I've always wondered. The boxes give you like 3 or 4 colours, and then you go into it and find there's loads more. Okay, so looking at these instructions, they're standard sort of affair for any kit, whether it's Airfix, Revell. Quite a lot of detailed drawings showing you where to go. Optional parts highlighted. Not that I've seen any just yet. About timings for gluing. And yep, nothing for optional parts. So it looks like this goes together as a standard kit. Oh, there we go, actually bombs. Bomb way doors, whether open or closed. So there we go, on that sheet there. We put the bombs in, we have them open. Now if you've seen my previous video, you've seen I've got the RAF bomber resupply kit. That's going to go with this. So the bombs won't actually be going in the bomb bay. This will be on the hardcore being loaded prior to going on the mission. Okay, so what we've actually got now is the camouflage schemes and decal layouts. So 424 Royal Canadian Air Force, 644 from Tant Rushton RAF. That's it, there's just 2 schemes it gives you. Okay, so not the variation that you get with some of the kits out there, where you can have 3 or 4. I mean, if you've seen my Edward Spitfire video for 1/72 scale, again, thought so the guys could use that for their armour. The big kit I've got has got 4 Spitfires in there, and I believe it was 14 variants for decals and that. And Edward, their instructions are a very nice glossy quality magazine. This is about standard fare though for most kits. Paper booklet, but the instructions look really crisp, clean, quick flick through. There's nothing here that seems to be confusing as to how they go on. They're really clear, concise, step by step, focusing on the different parts and stages. So there's a section on just the engines. It's not modelled up. It's not. I've had some in the past where you start on the cockpit. Before you glue the cockpit into the fuselage, they're assembling the wings. The engines might be done before the wings are done. And then they go back and do the cockpit gluing into the fuselage. And then you do the tailplane. And then you stick the wings on. And it's all over. This goes through looking at it, doing the cockpit into fuselage, doing the wings, doing the engines. So, logical steps. All in all, it's a nice kit. So some of the detail on here, it's hard to make out, but in other places the panel lines that look really good. In general, looking at these sprues, there's not much flashing on there. I know modern day injection molding has got a lot better than it used to be. One thing I do know about this kit, after reading about it, is supposedly the propellers supplied aren't the correct shape for this variant. Now that might be just Revell using a standard moulding for the previous variants of Halifax and not updating it for the MkIII. Apparently they're very similar to what should be on the Lancaster, so instead of a curved blade, a bit more pointed. It's minor details like that which, if you're an enthusiast into planes, into kits, you may pick up on. For most people in general, it is a minor thing. You wouldn't notice unless you specifically were looking for things like that. So it's not going to upset me. It won't affect the dioramas we're doing. All in all, this promises to be quite a large kit, just over 1 foot in length and close to 1.25 foot or so in wingspan. So it'd be nice to see all this go together. Maybe once it's assembled and that and the diorama's done, I'll do a video showing it completed. I won't do one of assembly and painting because I think they take too long to do. So that's the kit. Overall, I'm not overly impressed. It's not a standout kit with vast amounts of details. it is what I would consider middle of the road. It's not the worst kit I've had. I've had loads where the flashing's been horrible. When you've assembled it, parts are warped, parts are misaligned. I've had one kit many years ago, I mean this is going back to when I was a child, where it couldn't be assembled. I believe that was an old Airfix one, that may have been a Hurricane, and I just could not get the wings to align. There's warping on the top of the left wing, right wing, bottom and top wouldn't align at all. I had to cut the pegs out and try and warm them up a little bit. There's warping in the fuselage. It was a dreadful kit. It may not have been Airfix, but I do remember it, having one really bad one. These days, quality's improved, so you don't get many kits like that anymore. This though, 257 pieces or 247 pieces. That's a lot of small parts. I can see it's going to take some time to build, but good part count, some nice detailing, even if it isn't perfect. Promises to be a good model to assemble. Overall, I said, not the best kit, but I'm still pleased with it. Really, there's not much more to say to it. You've seen it. I know it's not a brand new kit, so you may have seen these reviews before, but that's my take on it. And until next time, I'll see you later.